welcome again no, to our online class. We will start na po. Ay, so do you, class? Do you see my screen?
Opo.
Okay. So we are now in a lesson 3, no? English quarter 4, module 3. So the lesson 3 is about determine the word of ideas mentioned in the text listen to. So that's the topic we're going to talk about. But before we start the topic, let me share to you the objectives. Okay, the objectives are, number 1, can you read, Patrick, objective number 1? Patrick, please, read objective number 1.
Tell something about the ideas you listen to.
All right, so tell something about the ideas you listened to. Okay, how about next, number 2? Anybody would like to read objective number 2? Anybody from the group po? Who may read objective number 2?
Ako po, ma'am.
Yes, please, thank you.
Determine if the ideas mentioned in the text listen to are valuable and
All right, so determine if the ideas mentioned in the text listened to are valuable. How about number 3?
Ako po.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Identify the ideas shared by the speaker by answering the question given.
All right, so we're going to identify the ideas shared by the speaker by answering the questions given. Okay, let's have first a lesson review before we discuss the topic intended for today. All right? So directions are right on the chat box. True if the listed statements would help you be an effective interpersonal communicator, and right false if they aren't. Okay, ready? Number 1. Don't show a negative body language. Is that true or false? Kindly write your answer on the chat box. Done?
Opo.
Okay, the answer is true. All right, so who got the correct answer? Everybody get the correct. Does everybody get the correct answer?
True.
Opo.
Okay. Next, listen well. The answer is
True
true.
po.
Right, correct. Next, number 3. What is the correct answer, number 3? Okay. False. Number 4.
False.
Yes, correct. Number 4, don't be defensive. The answer is true. Next one. Think before you speak. Speak. What's the correct answer? The answer is
True
true.
po.
All right. So, did you get it all correct?
Opo, ma'am.
Okay, good. Next. So, kindly watch this sent video to your GC. Okay, then later on class, so you will, okay, so the objective is you will watch a short video and you tell something about the ideas we listen to later on. All right?
Opo.
Okay, you may watch now the short video. Easy question? Apparently not. There appears to be some confusion between the two. A hazard can be identified as anything which can cause harm. A risk is the potential that a hazard will cause harm. This ladder is a hazard. Climbing the ladder and falling off Alright, so are you done watching the short video clip po?
Opo.
Yes po, ma'am.
Right. Okay. What is that? Lah, sorry anak, the tablet is wait lang, error. Is it like that? Okay. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to talk about the short video clip that that you have watched. Alright? So number one, what is the text you listen to all about?
About hazard and risks.
Alright. So it's that video talks about the difference between hazard and risk. Alright? Now how the hazard, word being defined.
Po,
Uh, how what are the words being described or being defined? What does hazard mean based on that video?
yung ma'am, yung bagay na pwedeng makapag sa'yo makasakit katulad po ng hagdanan. Na
Alright.
kapag nahulog ka naman po doon, naman po yan yung risks.
Alright. Good answer, right? So yeah, correct. Hazard is being defined in that video about something that has the potential to cause harm to people, property, and environment. How about risk? How the word risk being defined on that video?
Damage po, ma'am.
Oh yeah, so yung a chance of or probability that hazard posing a harm to people, environment, property is a risk. All right, so like I'll give an example on the video now. So ayan. So ladder is a good example of hazard while yun daw yung risk naman doon is that yung
Pag nasaktan ka na po.
when you climb up on the ladder and then when you climb up on the ladder and then that fall, right? and hurt. So that is a risk. Okay. So do you think the ideas I mentioned in the text is something useful?
Yes po, ma'am. Kasi
Why you
malalaman,
can why you say so?
malalaman, malalaman niyo po, ma'am, kung ito po ba ay nakakapag-hazard, ay makakapagpasakit sa'yo. Tapos, itong bagay na ba to, pwede ka bang madisgrasya? Parang ganun po, ma'am.
Yes,
Para po sa
correct.
kaligtasan niyo po sa
Correct,
bawat
tama.
kilos.
Yes, yeah, correct. You are your answer is correct. So the video is telling us, no, that we need to be aware about the the hazard and risk present in our environment, diba, at home, at work, something like that. Like for example, in our situation that we are facing now, diba? What do you think the hazard that we are facing now globally?
Cellphone.
Cell phone, right? So how the cell phone can be considered as risk?
Makakapaglabo po ng paningin.
Yeah, because of the radiation, right? How about the what do you call this, the problem or the hazard that we are facing right now, globally?
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. Okay, Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi. Why is it Wi-Fi? Why is it Wi-Fi?
Kasi po, ma'am, kung wala ka pong Wi-Fi, hindi ka po makakatid ng online.
So the risk there is
Hindi wala ka pong matututunan.
when you say risk class, yeah, probably yes, no? Kasi you will become stressed, right? Kasi you
Opo.
think you will be left behind to your
Ang dami na
lessons.
pong negative thoughts na
Oh,
naiisip.
yes, correct. Yeah. That's also a good example. All right. So how can we prevent risk? How can we prevent risk?
Mag-ingat po.
Okay. So you always have to what?
Keep safe and take care of yourself.
All right. So you always think first safety, no? All right. So what else? What are the very what do you call this? A very simple and very common, the thing to do for you to be, to lessen risk or prevent risk.
Be always positive, ma'am.
Okay, you
Posi-
always
Positive.
positive. Okay, you always,
And careful.
okay,
Careful always.
okay, so you need to be careful always. What
Do the
else?
right thing. Do
Do
the
the
right
right,
thing po.
do the right thing, yeah. Any other else that you are, would like to say about on how can we prevent risk? Knowing that we all know the different hazards that we have in our places, in our community, in our environment.
Paano po para, ano rin po, ma'am, alamin kung tama ba to or mali sa
Yeah,
nakapaligid.
yes,
Tulad po
correct.
ng, yung nandito po sa amin na nagtatapon ng chemical, dapat po inisip niya muna po kung anong epekto nun sa mga nakapaligid na tao at saka sa earth natin.
Yeah, anak, that's a good answer. Pero you better try to speak English, mga anak. Okay, pero that's a good answer, no? So you need to always have presence of mind, okay, whenever you are doing something, especially at your home, for example. Yeah, the one of your classmates said a while ago, diba? You always check if you're doing the right thing, no? Like for example, if you are plugging you know um appliances, but so you have to see to it if you are doing the right thing in plugging in the appliance, to your at home. Diba? Kasi ang risk dun is that, pwedeng you're not doing the right thing, diba? Okay. So now that you have shared your own ideas on how to prevent risk, I think that the most what do you call this, a useful one for us to prevent risk, you have to you have to have a presence of mind at all times. Okay, you need to have presence of mind. Okay,
Yes po.
next. Now, how will you determine if the ideas mentioned in the text are valuable? So, for example, if you are reading, listening a text to a short video or a short discussion, or reading a text, something like that. So, how will you determine if the ideas mentioned in the text you listen to are, valuable to listen or very worthful to listen? So, if it is what? How can we say the ideas mentioned by the speaker is, very valuable to you, to everybody else, to us? How will you determine if it is, worth to listen?
By knowing the things that can you hurt and damage the environment.
So especially now if you are
Protect yourself.
okay. So another answer. How will you? What do you think? What do you think? The most important class, if you are listening a text or coming from the speaker, what do you think is a good, what do you call this? What do you think is a good idea for you to be identify if the text or ideas mentioned by the speaker is worth listening? Diba, we all know na kasi na, diba, there are different at information, no? We have different ideas that we listen to. Pero not all ideas are what? Are valuable. Not all ideas are what? Worth to listen, right? My question is, how will you determine if the ideas mentioned in the text are valuable or are worth to listen? If it is what? If the ideas mentioned by the speaker is what? So we
To
are,
avoid ma'am po, risks. Like in today ma'am, pandemic, if you don't wear a face mask, you will be infected with viruses.
yes, correct. So, we can determine if the ideas mentioned by the speaker is about facts, no? About facts, no? Or giving us information about something. Yes. And for us not to, you know, have an idea on what are the steps that we're going to do for us to be safe. Like, for example, if you are going to listen to a news, about COVID-19, how does COVID-19, diba, spread, something like that, and what are the things to do by the people for them to not get infected, something like that. For example, if the, newscaster or the news reporter telling about us about the COVID-19, something like that. So knowing those things, class, by mentioning the ideas by the news reporter, you will get an information, right? So by that reason, you will be able to determine if the ideas are valuable. So if the ideas mentioned by the speaker is really about giving us an information about something, and therefore I think that ideas given by the speaker is valuable. Right? So like giving, information. Do you understand?
Apa.
Okay. So again, how will you determine if the ideas mentioned in the text are valuable? If it is giving us an information, okay, about something. Okay, next. Okay, we're going to have a brief introduction about the lesson. So, worth of ideas in the listening text. Yes, correct. So, a text may contain many ideas, no? But not all of these are valuable, right? Have you tried to read a very long selection and then you did not understand about it because that's too long? Have you tried to do that? You know, reading or listening to a long discussion or long, have you tried to do that? And yet, you're listening to a text, but not all the ideas mentioned by the speaker are valuable. Have you, tried to do that? Do you believe in that? That not all text may contain, not all text mentioned by the speaker are valuable. Do you believe in
Yes
that?
po. Yes
Yes.
po.
Ay, ano nangyari? Okay, so can we say the ideas mentioned in the text you listen to are valuable? Yes, because, if the ideas mentioned by the speaker are, is giving us an information, therefore, I can say the ideas I mentioned is valuable or are valuable. Now, when did we say the ideas mentioned in the text you listen to are valuable? Okay, number one, if it is useful. Number two, if it is valid. And number three, if it is brilliant. Okay, we're going to talk about those words later. Next, in next slide. Now, when can we say the ideas mentioned is valuable? Number one, if it is useful to us. If it is useful to the people, if it is useful to the listener. Therefore, the ideas mentioned is valuable. Do you understand?
Opo.
We can say the ideas mentioned by the speaker or by the ideas mentioned by the speaker is valuable if it is number one, if it is useful to you, to us, or to the listener. Okay, kung you can be able to apply the information given by speaker, right? Like the video that we watch, no? So the video is, trying to tell us that, we have hazard and risk, so we need to be aware, something like that. So therefore, the video is useful to us, to everybody, because the video serves as awareness, right? Now, so what? Now we can say what is the meaning of useful? One, if it is relevant and applicable. Okay, let example. Okay, example, you may be doing a research about the effects of inflation. So a text now about the understanding effect of inflation is useful. Okay. How will you determine if the ideas mentioned by the speaker is valuable? Number one, if it is what?
Useful.
Yes, it is useful. What do we mean by useful? Meaning it is
Relevant and
relevant and
applicable.
applicable to the listener or to the people or to the readers, right? So example. So if you are doing a research about something, for example, if you're doing a research about inflation, so understanding the effect of inflation is useful to you, or something like that. Next, another one we can say a text listen to is valuable if it is valid. Now, what do we mean by valid? If it is supported by facts. So valid meaning to say the selection or the ideas mentioned by the speaker is supported by facts or based on a sensible reasoning. Okay? Can you follow?
Yes po.
Alright. That's why if the ideas is brilliant. Okay, what do you mean by that? If it is different, exceptional, and distinctive, meaning to say the idea comes from the author only and it's not the same ideas to other authors, something like that. So meaning to say the ideas is new and new idea, something like that. Need to say the ideas are shared by the speaker is original. Okay? Need to say the ideas is not coming from other authors. Okay? Do you understand?
Yes po.
Okay, do you have any question?
Wala na po.
Okay, so you will read the directions class activity. So I would like you to get your paper, any piece of paper and a pen, okay, or ball pen. So you will read the short conversation below, the next slide. So you will identify the ideas shared by the speaker by answering the questions that follow. Okay, the title of the conversation, Youth's Happiness. Okay? So person A says, life so boring, so sad. Person B says, well, most of the time it is. Unlike this time, most people are only staying at home. What do you think will make you happy? Person A says. Person B says, I think my family makes me happy now. Person A says, you heard people say that family stays happy together, lives forever. Person B says, yes, the value of each family member now is more appreciated than before, since most of the time family members are staying at home. Okay, maybe this is one message of the hardship we are experiencing now. Person A said. Person B answered, I guess to be closer to one another, and I'm thankful that I have my family with me. And person A says, that's true. Of course, we should also not forget to always pray to our Creator. Yes, be thankful at all times. So, if we find happiness, life should not be boring at all. Yes, that's true. Okay, answer number one. Question number one, what is the theme of this discussion? Okay, I will give you probably about 5 minutes or 3 minutes to answer the 5 given questions only. Okay, there are choices class. You need to choose the best answer. Okay, do we have do we need again to read the short conversation for you to be able to answer the.
Okay na po, ma'am.
Okay, so can we okay, let's go back to the short conversation for you to be able to answer the 5 given questions, right? Okay, so let's go back to the dialogue. Okay, Patrick is a person letter A, and who would like to volunteer to be a person letter B? Okay, let's read again the short conversation for you to be able to answer the 5 given questions, class. Okay, so Patrick would be person A. Would like to be person B.
Ako po.
Oh yes, please. Okay, okay, you will narrate the dialogue, all right? So okay, let's begin. Patrick, letter A. Person A, Patrick. Yes, Patrick. Where's Patrick? Patrick. Okay. Maybe Patrick doesn't want to read the dialogue. Anybody from the group would like to volunteer to be, a person A?
Ma'am, wait lang po, naglalag po.
Okay, so thank you, Patrick. Okay, start reading the dialogue. Yes, you may start, Patrick. Patrick? Anybody from the group would like to volunteer to read the dialogue or to read the conversation? Patrick, connection is poor ata. Okay, would like anybody po? Please mga anak participate. Hello? Pat okay, read the dialogue. Patrick, are you still there? Hello?
Wala po ata.
Yes po.
Anybody? Oh, yeah, yes, please. Kindly read the dialogue. Sorry. Where's the wait. Okay, mga anak, let's start reading the dialogue so that we may proceed to next slide. Patrick, yes, Patrick.
Mahina po siguro connection niya.
Anybody from the group? If not,
Speak na kayo.
if Patrick cannot do that, anybody?
Ma'am,
Oh, yes, please. Yes, anak.
yung life so boring po ba?
Yes, please.
Life so boring, so sad.
Well, most of the time it is. Like this time, most people are only staying at home.
What do you think will make you happy?
I think my family makes me happy now.
You heard people say the family stays happy together, live forever.
Yes, the value of each family member now is more appreciated than before, since most of the time family members are staying at home.
Maybe this is the one message of the hardship we are experiencing now.
I guess to be closer to one another, and I am thankful that I have my family with me.
That's true. Of course, we should also not forget to always pray to our Creator.
Yes, be thankful at him all times. So if you found happiness, life shouldn't be boring at all.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, so thank you for reading the dialogue. Let us kindly answer the 5 given questions. So I will give you about 3 minutes to answer the answer only. Choose the best answer. Letters only.
Hindi ma'am, ay pala.
Yeah, you write your answer on a piece of paper.
Done na po, ma'am.
Okay, then for questions 3 and 4.
Wait lang po, ma'am.
Okay, next.
Apo.
Okay, Dan?
Apo.
Okay, so let's answer the questions. Okay, so what is the theme of this discussion?
Letter B po. Letter B.
Okay, so letter B, they are talking about
Ma'am?
family
Family and
and
happiness.
yes, correct. In this dialogue, what can make a person be happy?
Letter C po.
Letter C po.
Okay, yes, correct. Being with family.
Family.
Question number 3. According to the lines given by the person in the dialogue or in the conversation, family that stays happy, family that stays happy together, blank.
Letter C
Letter B
po.
po.
Letter B po.
Letter B po.
Letter C po.
Letter C.
Letter B, ma'am. B
Letter
forever.
B,
Forever
correct.
po.
Letter B. Okay, why does a person A felt sad?
He felt uneasy.
C po.
Letter B.
Felt uneasy? Any
Letter
other
C po.
answer? Letter C, correct. He felt boredom. He feel bored, right? Next, number 5. What conclusion can you have in this dialogue?
Letter C po.
Letter B po.
Letter B,
Letter B
ma'am.
po.
Letter
B.
Letter B.
B. Any other
Opo.
answer?
C po.
Letter C. So, okay, they realize that they are happy being with their family. Okay, so again, what is the topic about? Okay, what is the topic that we discuss about?
About useful, valid, and brilliant.
All right, so we are we discuss about you know the we discuss about how the person or how will one determine if the texts are valuable, diba? So one, if it is useful, valid, and
Brilliant.
brilliant. Those are the ideas that you need to understand. Okay. So we're going now to have our evaluation. So you are going to read again a short conversation as well, and then you will answer the 5 given questions. Okay, here's another a short conversation.
Ako po, ma'am, sa A.
Oh, yes, please. Person B.
Ako po, ma'am, sa B.
Sige po. Proceed na anak.
Hi, Mike. What have you been up to?
Not much. I started exercising.
Trying to get in shape?
Trying. Yeah, and I need to start improving my health.
Especially
Especially now because of the...
virus.
Ma'am, di ko po makita yung baba.
Virus, anak, kasi yung slide. Virus.
Virus.
Me too. What are you doing beside exercising?
Actually, there are a lot.
I think if you eat better, it will help tremendously. Your exercise is useless without proper diet.
Yes, I think so. Sleep is good. So I heard people who sleep an average of 8 hours a day have less health problems.
Looks like there are a lot of things to do to stay healthy.
True, but I think it is worth it. When you get old, you want to be healthy and active.
When you want to be safe, you need to stay healthy.
Answer the 5 given questions on a piece of paper.
This po.
Okay, done with question number 1.
Apa,
Question number 2. Okay, next question.
apa,
Ay, sorry. Are you done with question number 3 po?
Yes po.
Di pa, ma'am.
Ay, not yet. Next question.
yes po.
Opo.
Okay, done?
Opo.
Apa.
Okay, kindly check your own work. Okay, let's display the correct answer. Let's display the answer key. Okay, who got 5?
Opo, ma'am.
Opo, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Later in class, you will screenshot your own, work and PM to me. Okay, for assignment, okay, directions, you enumerate the 3 hazards and risks that you can find in your home. Okay, you'll also cite 3 possible solutions, no? So accidents may not happen or risks may not happen. All right? Do you understand the assignment?
Apa.
All right. So definitions of concepts that we discussed today, we have hazards, risk, relevant, what else?
Useful, valid, and brilliant.
Yes. Okay, when we say hazards, something that has the potential to cause harm to people, property, or the environment.
Environment.
So, yes. Risk, the chance of that hazard causing harm. the people or damaged property or the environment. When you say useful, something that is relevant or applicable to us, to the readers, to you. When you say valid, meaning to say the idea is supported by facts. Okay? Okay, thank you for listening.